Hi, I'm Emily Taylor from Collage Quilter. Thank you for joining me today on this YouTube channel. Today I'm going to give you a demonstration tutorial about making these beautiful ruffles for pillows. So before we dive into that, let me just explain some of the products that were used in this project. So this one, let's start here, is from the Longwood collection. This pillow top was made using my Tulips Complete kit. So in the kit comes all the fabric for the collage and the background and a packet of Steam-A-Seam. There's also a video tutorial on this YouTube channel about making the collage. So if you're interested in that, you can get that there at collagequilter.com. And in this pillow, this is the pillow that I'm going to be demonstrating on. And in the video that you'll see coming up, I have collaged it and we pick up on the finished top. So after I've quilted it, then we're gonna start on the tutorial for the ruffle. So if you want to watch the tutorial of me collaging this rooster, go find it again on my YouTube channel. This is from my Petite Rouge collection. This also is a complete kit. It contains the background fabric, the fabric for collage, and Steam-A-Seam. Now the final, and I should mention that this week only, this would be the last week of May into June in 2024, the Petite Rouge collection, all the fabric and whatnot, is going to be on sale. And then finally, one more thing, we are now carrying pillow forms so that you can, when you pick up a kit, you can pick up these great pillow forms. This one is a 20-inch square pillow form. It's alternative down and it is so nice and scrunchy. I love it. I want to bring this home. It will be, this is a 20 by 20 and that is perfect for an 18-inch quilt block. We also have a 22-inch square pillow form, which is perfect for a 20-inch quilt block. And then we have 16-inch square pillow inserts as well. So now with all of that behind us, let's dive into the tutorial and I'm going to show you from the point that I've got this quilt block finished and how to make this beautiful ruffle. So here we go. All right, so I have finished quilting the rooster. I want to show you the back. Look how cute that looks. So this will be the top of the pillow. And then I've also cut the fabric and prepared the backing fabric. So basically this is just going to be a simple envelope pillow so that it's 20 inches. Let me see if I can, I haven't pinned them together. Anyway, this piece is 8 inches by 20 inches. And you can see I've decided that I'm going to leave the selvage edge. And I want that to show on the back of my pillow because this is my fabric collection and that's just kind of fun. Then I don't have to finish that edge. But then this piece has the edge finished and you can see that. And then it measures 14.5 inches by 20 inches. So when these are overlapped, they'll measure 20 inches square, just like the front of the pillow. So the next thing that I need to do is I'm going to figure out how much fabric I need to cut for a ruffle, a really nice dense ruffle. So the block is 20 inches on each, 20 inches square. So if I multiply that by, if I've got 80 inches all the way around, and roughly a good dense ruffle is going to be about 2.5 to 3 times the perimeter of the pillow. So I've done some calculations and figure I need, roughly between 200 inches and 240 inches. So I just kind of split the difference and said, let's calculate if I need 220 inches around. And then I divide that number, 220 by 42, which is the width of fabric. So that equals roughly 5 and some odd. So that's the number of strips that I need to cut. So I will just round up or down. I'm going to round down to 5 strips of fabric, and then they need to be 6 inches wide because it's going to be a double folded or self-effaced ruffle. So essentially I would need about a yard of fabric. That's going to be 5 strips times 6 is 30, right? So just round up to a yard of fabric for the ruffle. So now I'm going to cut that, and then I'll show you, I'm going to sew it together, and I'll get back to you and show you how I've got it done. All right, so I have literally hundreds of inches that I have sewn together to create a long strip. And my seams are just straight seams, okay? And then I've trimmed them and flattened the seam open. So I've got one long strip, and now I'm going to create a loop with this. So I'm going to put the 2 ends together and stitch this at my sewing machine. So I'll stitch along this, and then I've got this enormous long loop. So I will get this done and show you the next step. All right, so I've cut the excess off. I'm just pressing this, and now I have one continuous long tube, long strip. So I'm going to lay this on my ironing board and now double it. So I'll just go all the way along this and double it up, press it. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this real quick. So this has been, I've sewn it together, so we've got a loop, and then I've doubled it up so that we've got, this will be our 3-inch ruffle. Now the next thing that I've done in preparation for pulling the ruffle is I've figured out where the halfway points are. So there are 2 ends where I'm gonna start my ruffle. So I've got a pin in both of these, and can you hear my little kitty over there? She's looking for trouble because she had a lot of fun playing with this. So I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine, and you can watch me as I sew the thread that's going to help us pull the ruffle. Okay, see you in a sec. Okay, so I want to show you a few things. Number 1, make sure that you have both your top and your bottom thread pulled through so that you can have something to hold on to. Number 2, you've got your pin. So I've got this pin here and 1 pin at the exactly halfway around, and that's going to mark my beginning and my ending for the ruffle. And then the last thing is I want to make sure that I have a good stitch, good long. So what I'm doing is a basting stitch. So I need to make sure that my stitch length is as high as it goes. On my machine, it goes to number 6. So that's fantastic. So make your stitch length as long as it can go. And then you're just going to, again, make sure that your threads are out. You've got your 2 threads, that they're not going to get sucked in. And I'm going to stitch all the way around to the next pin. Okay, here's the pin to indicate where to stop. Okay, so be careful not to cut your thread. Just raise up your foot, pull your needle out, pull that out, and then cut it. So I'm going to leave some thread there. Now I'm going to keep going. I'm going to leave that pin in to mark the halfway point, and I'm just going to jump across here. So here I've come up to the end of this again. I'm just going to raise my needle, pull this out. Now you can see that I've got those 2. Now I'm going to, just to secure it, to make sure that make it easier on myself, I'm going to slide my needle over a couple spots. Excuse me. Put this back down, and I'm going to stitch another line right next to it. And this just ensures that my thread isn't going to be breaking when I'm pulling, so it gives me a little bit more, a little security when I'm pulling my threads to make the ruffle. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, just right next to it. All right, so you can see that my ruffle is just about ready to start gathering. And before I do that, I've got an end here and an end here, and then halfway here. So I've got those marked by pins. So the next step is going to be to find the center point on the top and bottom and the sides of the pillow. So I'm just going to do that by folding it in half and then just marking it again with a pin. Let's do the bottom here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that beginning, let's see if I can find where it went, because this is getting real long here. Oh, there's one. Okay, so there's one end right there. And then the other thing too, this fabric is directional, and so I want to make sure that it's going the right direction all the way around. I don't want these little things to be upside down. I want them to be the right side up. So we're going to pin these together, just kind of like this. So pin this to, let's see here. I guess we should probably do it like this here. There, now I can take out that pin that's on beneath it. Okay, so I've got that part pinned, and then we'll find the other end, and let's see, where are you? Where's the beginning? Here it is. Is that it? Yep, okay. Here's the other end. But the other thing is I gotta make sure that I don't turn this all upside down. And it's kind of, all right, there we go. We want to keep it going the right way so I don't have any flips, any twists in my ruffle. Okay, there. So it's gonna go like this. I can take that pin out, take this pin out, and pin those together now. Now the next step is I'm going to find the center of each side, and let's just real quick go like that, fold them in half. There's the center there, and here's the center here. All right, so after I found the centers on the sides and lined it up with the remaining center of the ruffle strip, I'm just pulling the thread through to gather up the ruffle, and it takes a little bit of patience to just very carefully slide the fabric along the stitch lines so that it doesn't break, so that the thread doesn't break. That's one thing we don't want. We don't want the thread to break. And so I recommend using polyester thread, and I've stitched it twice so that it's a little bit stronger, but it just takes time to get this done. But this is where the magic happens. All right, so I've just about finished this quadrant, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to treat each section as a quadrant. So I'll gather until I get to that pin, and just, you know, the gathering is just pulling those threads and then sliding the fabric along the thread. It requires quite a bit of manipulation with the fabric, and so I end up pulling out a lot of the threads on the end of the fabric or the edge. So the raw edge, then I'll just go through and trim all of those threads to keep it kind of tidy. So as I now am lining this up with the edge of my fabric, I'm just going to, with the edge of the pillow top, I'm just going to pin it. And as I go to hold it in place. And then as I kind of turn the corner, it's just going to be a little rounded there. And there will be a good amount of bulk in the corner because you need that so that it will be nice and full when you turn it right side out after stitching. Ouch. Love it when I do that. I love it when I poke my finger with a pin. Okay. Now let's just gather up this last little bit here, like that. Oh, that looks nice. It's gonna be really cute. So now I'm ready to work in the next quadrant, and I'll just do that until I've got this ruffle all gathered and pinned to the edge of the pillow top. So when I get that done, then I will be back and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so I have the ruffle all gathered and pinned to the edge of the pillow top. Now I'm going to take this over to my machine, and I'm just going to stitch along here just to secure it so I can pull all the pins out, and then I'll put the backing on. So let's take this over to the machine. All right, so I've got the ruffle applied to the front. Now I want to show you something. I can see when I flip it over like this, I can see the gathering stitches. So sometimes it doesn't bother me, but it's a contrasting thread. So I'm gonna make sure I pull all of those out, and they come out really easily because they're basting stitches. So once I've finished that, or I can do it after this step, I'm going to put the back on. So this is going to be my bottom piece, and remember it's 20 inches wide to match this. So I'm just gonna lay it like this. Actually, I want this one with the selvage to be, first of all, you're gonna go right sides together. But I want this one to be on top. So I'm gonna lay that one down first, and then I will lay this on top. Get rid of all those extra threads. And then I will pin it in place and stitch all the way around that edge again. And then we'll be ready to turn our pillow inside out. And so I'll see you in just a second. Okay, here's the big reveal. Here is the finished rooster pillow. Hacha! Pretty cute, huh? I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and all of the fabric and supplies to make this lovely little pillow are available on my website, collagequilter.com. So until next time, ta-ta!